Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan was recently granted bail on self-recognizance by the Federal High Court in Abuja after being arraigned on charges related to alleged cybercrime and defamation. But what does that mean? Natasha, a serving senator from Kogi Central, was accused of making false and damaging statements about Senate President Godswill Akpabio and ex-Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello. The government claimed her statements, made both in public and on TV, were intended to incite unrest and damage reputations. She pleaded not guilty to all charges. Her legal team asked the court to grant her bail on self-recognizance, arguing she is a senator, a respected member of society, and not likely to run away or miss her court dates. The prosecution did not oppose the bail request. And what does bail on self-recognizance mean? Bail on self-recognizance means the court allows the accused person to go home and remain free while waiting for trial without having to pay any money or provide any surety, that is, someone to guarantee their appearance. The court trusts that because Natasha is a well-known public figure with strong ties to the community, she will come back to court as required and not try to escape justice. She simply promises, often in writing, to appear in court on the next date and follow any court instructions. But why was she granted this type of bail? Courts often give this kind of bail to people who are considered responsible, prominent, and unlikely to flee, such as public officials or respected professionals. The judge noted that Natasha is a senator, the charges are bailable, and there was no evidence she would run away or interfere with the case. Her trial is set to continue on September 22, 2025. Now, there are several notable instances in Nigeria where courts have granted bail on self-recognizance, especially to prominent public figures or officials. Now, here are some of the key precedents. Gani Fawemi, Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti, and Femi Falana in 1993. Now, following the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, these prominent activists were arrested and detained. Despite being held under a military decree, Justice Berger granted them bail on self-recognizance due to their status and public standing, even though they were detained under harsh political circumstances. Omoyele Sowore in 2019. Omoyele Sowore, pro-democracy activist and convener of the Revolution Now movement, applied for bail on self-recognizance after being detained by the Department of State Services, DSS, on charges including treasonable felony. His lawyer, Femi Falana, argued that Sowore was a prominent public figure and not a flight risk. Now, while the court initially imposed strict bail conditions, Sowore specifically sought bail on self-recognizance, citing his public profile and the completion of investigations. Now, these are just a few examples. Bail on self-recognizance is generally available to responsible, prominent, or well-known individuals who are not likely to jump bail. The law assumes such persons will not abscond due to their public standing and ties to the community. This principle is recognized in Nigerian legal practice and is often applied to public officials, lawmakers, and respected professionals. Now, while not always granted, applications for bail on self-recognizance are common among high-profile defendants. For example, Godwin Emefiele, former CBN governor, was granted bail with surety conditions, but his case illustrates that courts weigh the prominence and perceived flight risk of the accused when considering bail terms. This is Law Bite on DDM. If you like this video, do not hesitate to hit the like button, share my videos, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more on this. Now, do not forget to turn on your notification bell so that you always get updates. I am Tochku Raphael. See you next time.
Sorry. In the fact that they gave our bill of self-recognizance, they also believe that the court should also the federal high court. Oh, sorry, the federal high court should also, be firm on the fact that its time is being wasted. You look at it, this is a case of federal intimidation being allowed to happen. The other day, literally almost similar case was filed at another court that we had. And it goes to show that there is institutions that are allowing themselves to be used as tools of oppression. The one thing that we should worry all of us is the fact that the case that had to do with fighting for justice, for someone's justice, where injustice has happened, was postponed. But the ones where oppression is supposed to go on were allowed to happen. But as we see, it's what it's supposed to be. Let it be, giving her way of self-recognition. Where I expect the court to really fight it out, and not only that, to tell us the federal government that we have so many things that are happening in the country, and it does not have the time, the resources to be wasted on the fact that there are two senators who have problems with each other. They're big enough to take care of themselves. There are lots of people, all Nigerian masses, who do not have anyone speaking for them. There are a lot of cases out there that people have been willing to appear before the court. They haven't appeared before. But we have certain people who are using their offices and certain institutions being willing to the oppression for this thing to happen. It's just a waste of the nation's time at a time when we should be focused on saving lives. People are dying all over the country, but we are here wasting the resources that we do not have to waste the court's time that they have a lot of cases that they're supposed to do. At the end of the day, I think the judiciary should wake up and no longer allow itself to be used by politicians who believe because they are in office, they can do whatever it is that they want to do.
Thank you very much. President, distinguished colleagues, I'm Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, and I stand to raise a petition under Order 40. The petition may only be presented to the Senate by a senator who shall affix his or her name at the beginning thereof. The petition is in my name against the President of the Nigerian Senate, His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, for sexual harassment, abuse of office, and malicious obstruction of my legislative functions. You may recall, sir, that on Friday in Arise TV, I did make some statements. And I have decided to narrow these statements in a formal petition against the President of this Senate. So if it may please you, I would humbly step forward and lay this petition. Thank you.
You may proceed. Distinguished colleagues, this petition is hereby referred to the Committee on Code of Conduct, Ethics and Public Petitions to revert to the Senate as soon as practicable.
Petition.
Any other petition? Yes.
Senate President, I have before me a petition by a Nigerian citizen and a constituent of Kogi Central under the name Suberu Azamare Yakubu. And the petition is against the President of the Nigerian Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, for sexual harassment, abuses of office, and malicious obstruction of legislative functions of distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. So with your kind permission, may I please lay this petition? Because as you know, yesterday...
Is there any legal impediment?
On the subject matter, none, sir. None, sir.
Please proceed to lay the petition. Since you said there is no legal impediment.
There is none, sir. Thank you.
Don't worry, somebody...
Which order is he quoting?
Don't give this person any PR. Don't.
Distinguished colleagues, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has a petition from her constituents, and she has also further confirmed before all senators that the matter in issue is not in any court of law. I have no reason not to take her word for it, so accordingly, the petition is referred to the Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct and Public Petitions to revert to the Senate in 4 weeks.
About 10:30 p.m. on the 14th day of March at about 10:30 p.m. I got calls that Governor Yahaya Bello was with Akpabio. That night, let me say this now. On the 14th of March at 10:30 p.m. Mind you, 2 days before that, which was on the 12th, Akpabio had called Governor Dodo on the phone that he should commence my recall. But Governor Dodo told him it would be impossible. No, hold on. This was what Governor Dodo said on the 12th. Listen. He said,
All day.
on the 12th of March, Akpabio spoke to Governor Dodo to recall me. But he told him to be impossible because the masses are with her, people are with her. But Akpabio was not satisfied. He then sent for Yahaya Bello. And it was actually Senator Asukwo from Cross River that drove Yahaya Bello from Hilton Hotel. I was informed of everything. And when I got to know, hold on, the meetings was in 2 polls. They told him to commence my recall. And that he was going to fund it. Of course, monies changed hands that night. The second thing he told him was that he should try and kill me. I didn't make this public, but I wrote to the IG of police. And Akpabio told Yahaya Bello, I am standing by what I've said. He told him that he should make sure that killing me does not happen in Abuja. It should be done here. So it will seem as if it's the people that killed me here. I didn't make that public, but we did notify the security agencies of that. I called on the media houses. I called on Tuesday, I called on Punch, I called on a number of apps that I know. I tried to get them publish the information ahead of time. That look, this is the nature of the meeting. They are going to commence my recall. But of course, the print media, if you don't have evidence, they will not be able to put it out. So they said, Natasha, do you have any evidence that your recall is being planned? I said, I don't have any evidence, but I know that the meeting took place and this was what transpired. But you see, 3 days after, the recall started and they called me, oh, you said it. I said, I did tell you that this was going to happen. But what is it now for us? We saw what happened. They came around, deceived our women that there was an empowerment program going on. They told them to come.
Good afternoon, President of the IPU. Good afternoon, colleagues. I come with a heavy heart from Nigeria, but first I'd like to apologize to Honorable Kafila Ogbara. I am not here to bring shame to our country. I'm here to seek help for the women of Nigeria. Again, my name is Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. 5 days ago, on the 6th of March 2025, I was suspended. As a senator, I was suspended illegally because I submitted a petition of sexual harassment against the President of the Nigerian Senate, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan. I thought that by submitting the petition, he would recuse himself, and both of us would submit ourselves to the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition for a fair and transparent investigation. But unfortunately, I was silenced and I was suspended. I was suspended for 6 months, amongst many other stringent conditions, such as taking away my security, taking away all the officials, vehicles, and other items that were handed over to me as a senator. My salaries will be cut off. I must not appear anywhere near the National Assembly. And for 6 months, I'm not to introduce myself or present myself as a senator, locally in Nigeria or international gatherings. I'm here illegally, but I had no other place to go but to come here and speak to you women, because this is a bigger picture. This is a bigger picture. It depicts the crisis of women political representation. My suspension is not just about me. It's about the systemic exclusion